Gordon Ryan with Outside PR. Just wanted to thank the crew from Hoka and my own coworker, Emily. What a fantastic presentation. A lot of exciting shoes. And to complement those shoes, I'm super pleased and proud to present Matt Taylor, founder and leader of Tracksmith. Looks like he's coming at us maybe from the track house in Boston.
That's correct.
I will let you take it away, Matt. I know you have some exciting, not only products to share, but also some a fun initiative that's coming up soon. So take it away.
Thanks, Gordon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. And as Gordon said, I'm really excited to share a few new product launches with you, and then leave a bit of time at the end for an exciting brand announcement. As you likely know, running has been booming since the pandemic started. And what's also great that we've been seeing is that it's continuing to thrive. So a lot of the customers and consumers that came to running and who came to Tracksmith specifically during the pandemic are still running and still shopping. And we think that this momentum is going to carry, well into 2022. Next year, we'll have all 6 major marathons back on the calendar. Most of the big road races are back to feeling normal and at their normal sizes. And then the World Championships for track and field are in the US for the first time ever next year. They'll be hosted in Eugene. So there's really a lot to be excited about for this category. Tracksmith, for those that don't know, is a 7-year-old running brand based in Boston. We make high quality and highly considered apparel and accessories for committed runners. But really what we do is we help people fall in love with running. And we do that through our storytelling, our photography, our writing, our films. They're all meant to inspire and educate and create an emotional connection to running. Winter, however, is a particularly hard time to love running, especially here in New England. So our focus this time of year from a product perspective is to create products that allow runners to get outside every day, regardless of the weather. Not everyone has access to a treadmill or to a gym. And a lot of us are out there in the dark in the early mornings or in the dark in the evenings after we get home from work. So I wanted to walk through 3 specific product solutions that are very thoughtful and help sort of ease the burden of a cold weather run, so that you can actually enjoy the beauty of being out there even on a crisp day. So first we have 2 merino pieces in the Fells collection. We love merino. It is anti-odor, it's moisture wicking. Because you don't have to wash it as frequently, it's also going to last longer. And so it's really sort of a naturally sustainable fabric to use. And we use a lot of it. We have 2 different layers that I wanted to show today. The picture that's on the screen now, this is perfect against the skin in the deep winter. This is the Fells waffle layer. It's a classic waffle knit. You've seen these before, but they're normally cotton. This is 100% merino. What's unique about the waffle knit, that structure, is that it creates loft in the fabric. So it actually traps your body heat. So as your body is warming up on the run, it's trapping some of that heat and it's keeping you warm throughout the run. So this is a very warm base layer for deep winter. It is great for running, but I will say it's also, as our team always points out, it's great for skiing. It's great for hiking. It's great for other activities in the cold. The second in the Fells family is the Fells turtleneck. This is the only merino running turtleneck on the market. It is absolutely lovely in the wintertime. It's super soft. The turtleneck provides extra warmth against your neck, but also can sort of be pulled up over the mouth a little bit to even provide a little extra protection. It has thumb holes as well at the end, which obviously, a lot of runners love. And like the waffle knit, it's not a waffle knit per se, but it also is a textured merino blend that also creates a little bit of loft and traps body heat. So the Fells pieces are amazing first layers against the skin in deep winter. A lot of people that might know the brand, the Brighton base layer, the Harrier T, Downeaster. We do a lot of amazing merino pieces. These we love specifically as we get into the colder months. The second piece that I wanted to share, we've been working with Polar Tech for a number of years, and we're excited to launch the Franklin Quarter Snap. This silhouette is such a classic silhouette. On this image, it's the one on your right, the blue one. You know, it's a silhouette that we all know, but no one has made one really specific to running. So this fleece is extremely lightweight. It pulls moisture to the surface. This is what fleece is so good at, is it's literally sucking moisture from the inside of the fabric to the outside, which allows it to evaporate in the air. And this does that extremely well. But we've also added stretch panels along the side. So under the arms down to the hem. The hem has an elasticated binding as well. And all of those things just allow for better movement while running, whereas sort of a normal fleece, you know, you can certainly run in it, but this will move with you and react a little bit better. And then we have some little details. We have thumb holes on here. We have warm hand pockets, 2 hand pockets on the side, as well as a secure zip pocket on the right-hand side as well. So if you wanted to stash a key or some gels or credit card or anything like that. You know, we've been saying since we launched the brand that there is becoming less of a distinction between what you run in and what you wear. And this is a perfect example of a piece that, you know, you can certainly run a lot of miles in and it's going to perform great, but you can also wear it around and it looks great. So that is a new introduction. We've had the Franklin jacket in the past, which is the red piece that you see here. We also have some accessories made out of this fleece as well. We have mittens, a headband, and a hat. Lastly, we have 2 innovative stretch wovens that I wanted to talk about, the Bislett pants and the Nor'easter jacket. Both of these products utilize some of Schoeller's best fabrics for cold weather endurance activities. Schoeller is a Swiss-based, extremely innovative performance textile manufacturer. They make, if not the best, among the best performance textiles in the industry for sure. The Bislett pants are an amazing product for this time of year. The primary hero here is the fabric. The face of this fabric, it's a double weave. So the face and the back are different, whereas a knit will have the same sort of feel and texture and look on the front and the back. So the front of these pants are water repellent. So they will shed water. It's not a waterproof piece, but it is water repellent. And then the back is a brushed back. So on the back, you're getting extra warmth against the skin. A really unique detail of these pants that wasn't super clear in the picture is at the bottom, they have stirrups. So if worn underneath your, you know, inside your shoes, underneath your feet, if it's slushy, if it's wet or anything like that, it's going to sort of hug the ankle against the skin to just sort of keep any of the sort of nastiness out. A lot of people, if it's not particularly wet day, you can just sort of kick those out the back and they don't necessarily need to be tucked in. And then along the sides, very subtle reflectivity. So in daylight, you know, not a super contrasted and obvious reflectivity, but at night, this will light up really well on both sides of the garment. So you get sort of great reflectivity at night on this piece. So for people who, you know, maybe don't want to wear tights or tights maybe aren't even warm enough, this is a very warm and a very sort of weather protecting pair of pants for men and women. And then the second one in this category is the Nor'easter jacket, also utilizing an amazing Schoeller fabric. What's great about this one is that the face of the fabric, again, is water repellent, but the back is entirely lined in merino wool. So this is a bonded fabric where the backside is a merino against the skin, doing all of the things that merino does really well. But on the front, you're sort of protecting yourself from Mother Nature. Some other nice details on this jacket. The collar is sort of hard to see, but it's got a brushed back. So that's really warm and soft against your neck. This has a two-way zipper. Oftentimes in the winter time, as you're running, especially if you're doing a harder effort, you may start to heat up a little bit. And so the ability to sort of ventilate a little more on the run. This also has the same sort of subtle, small reflectivity on both sides of the jacket. And then on the back has just sort of a nod to our sash, a very subtle detail that's on there as well. The last thing too, this has a really unique cuff structure where sort of a double elasticated cuff. So against your wrist, it's sort of a little bit tighter, keeping the wind out, but then has a nice straight cuff, so it has just a much cleaner finish on the outside. So those are some of our key winter pieces that are launching this season. For those that are familiar with Tracksmith, we're also launching our No Days Off collection that's coming at the end of December. We also have a very exciting runner's gift guide that we'll be launching a little bit after the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, that will have a assortment of our core fall winter pieces, but then also is going to have some one of a kind and very unique pieces in that gift guide as well. So something to keep an eye on. I wanted to shift gears. If anyone has obviously any questions about those products, we're happy to answer those questions. I just wanted to shift gears now a little bit, move away from product and talk about the sport as a whole. There's been a lot of participation growth over the last 2 years. It was amazing to have Boston and Chicago and New York City marathons so close together this fall, not to mention, Berlin and London as well. And so that participation and the excitement, as I mentioned before, is going to carry into next year, but there's still a lot of room for improvement in terms of how the sport gets presented. And this has been a passion of mine personally for much of my career, and really the driving force behind Tracksmith is that I think running is the most beautiful and powerful sport in the world, but how it gets presented to the public in a lot of contexts, I feel like can be improved. And with Tracksmith, we started, we can't do it all at once. So we started with the product, the photography and the films and our pop-up experiences at these major marathons. But the vision has always been much bigger than that. And one of the best ways, I think, to bring running to a broader audience is through events and experiences, and specifically events that cater as much to the audience or the spectator or the fan as it does to the athlete, instead of. And so today we're taking a really small step towards that bigger vision by introducing the Midnight Mile and New Year's Eve Gala, taking place on New Year's Eve in New York City at the Armory. The Midnight Mile will be sort of part New Year's Eve party and part track meet. A truly one-of-a-kind experience for the athletes and the guests, and also for those at home interested in following along on the live stream from their living room. Basically, the evening will be a series of indoor mile races at the Armory. So include youth races, high school, community, pro, even masters races. But the main event and the excitement will come exactly at the strike of midnight. Nick Willis, who is an employee at Tracksmith and also a 5-time Olympian, will attempt to break 4 minutes in the mile for the 20th consecutive year, which would break the world record. This is an incredible feat that is hard to sort of comprehend. If you follow baseball, it's sort of like the Cal Ripken version for our sport, to be able to compete at such a high level for such a long time and have that level of consistency. And so it's going to be an amazing evening. Our focus will be on creating an excitement and an atmosphere that is unlike any other track meet that you've been to. So we're really excited about the event. And again, if you'd like more information, we are happy to provide that. You can also find more information at tracksmith.com/midnight mile.
Fantastic work, Matt. Yeah, he's just he's a living legend. I don't know when that guy will ever stop, but I can't wait to watch that race. And also, if any of you need samples of the Tracksmith stuff, thank you, Matt. That was a beautiful presentation. And yeah, just get your request to me or Emily or Alice Baker.